Making money and keeping money require two completely different mindsets. To acquire wealth, you often have to take risks, push boundaries, and be bold. But holding on to that money requires the exact opposite: frugality, patience, and the discipline to leave your savings alone. Take the musician Rihanna, for example. In 2012, she sued her financial advisor, claiming mismanagement had left her nearly bankrupt. She had earned tens of millions of dollars, yet found herself with very little actual cash. Her advisor's legal defense was blunt. He pointed out that if you spend your income on expensive items, you will end up with items, not money. True wealth is invisible. It is the accumulated leftovers of what you choose not to spend. A high income provides the opportunity to build wealth, but only retention determines if you actually possess it. To build that retention discipline, many people turn to the most popular budgeting framework on the internet, the 50-30-20 rule. This diagram shows how the rule frequently fails in practice due to a specific mathematical error. Many calculate their percentages against their gross income, the total amount earned before taxes. But when tax deductions take their cut, they leave behind a much smaller net income base. Mapping your spending targets against that original, larger gross number creates an immediate deficit. Your planned expenses will exceed the actual cash hitting your bank account. Applying a theoretical rule without accounting for the underlying math turns a tool for financial freedom into a trap for debt. The correct framework begins strictly with after-tax net income. This is the exact amount of money that lands in your checking account after all deductions are removed. Starting out, half your net income is allocated to needs, covering baseline survival like rent, utilities, and groceries. The next 30% is for wants, covering discretionary choices. The remaining 20% is reserved for the future, emergency funds, retirement, and paying down debt. This proportional breakdown acts as a mathematical guardrail, preventing your lifestyle from outpacing your actual income. This system faces a psychological challenge as your salary increases. It is common for wants to begin disguising themselves as needs. When people get a raise, they often trigger lifestyle inflation. They buy more expensive versions of basic necessities, causing the 50% survival baseline to swell unnecessarily. This is particularly risky for those with side hustles or variable freelance income. Scaling your fixed expenses to match a high-earning month can leave you vulnerable during a slow one. This chart shows the adjustment for variable income. You must peg your 50% needs baseline to your lowest earning months. Surplus income from high-earning months should bypass wants entirely. Siphoning those peaks directly into your wealth-building bucket accelerates your path to financial independence. A budget is a living, defensive tool. It exists to capture surplus income, rather than acting as a reason to increase your spending. Budgeting functions as a psychological mechanism to counter our innate drive to consume. It is a strategy for managing our relationship with money, rather than a simple math exercise. Relying on willpower to manually divide your paycheck every 2 weeks often leads to failure. Emotional fatigue and decision paralysis eventually make it easier to overspend. The pay yourself first method serves as a behavioral bypass for these moments of weakness. This flowchart demonstrates the automation process. You configure your accounts so that savings and investments are drafted the same day your paycheck hits. Automating your finances ensures you never actually see that money in your checking account, which removes the temptation to spend it. These small, automated diversions of resources accumulate year after year, building a financial base that grows through the simple physics of consistency. Financial independence does not require outsmarting the global economy. It requires building an automated system that outsmarts your own habits.